Hello, this is Owen Flynn, and I'm going to talk to you today about cultural awareness for my cultural anthropology class. For cultural awareness, I went and attended a refugee awareness over at SUNYIT. This area of SUNYIT in Marcy is located really close to Utica, New York, and Utica is really known for having a lot of refugees. It is almost a melting pot for people who want to start their new life here in the United States. Now, there was three people who came up and presented. One was May, she was from Burma. Another was Mana from Somalia, and the last who did their presentation was actually a group of people from Nepal who introduced us to their music. May, as you can see here on stage, is originally from Burma. She first arrived in the refugee camp at a very young age, and when she first arrived, there was quite confusion what her and her family wanted to do. She, at the young age of 15, actually had convinced her family to come to the United States of America. This is because she was below the age of 18, where you can come over independently. When she first arrived, it was a new scene, a new place, and she was very scared. And while she was a new person on the block, she was bullied, she was threatened, and she was very fearful at the beginning. Eventually, she did learn English, and she did it in youth classes. Now, she started learning the basics of English, and she said what they occasionally did was they watched a lot of TV, and that really helped integrate them to how Americans speak and how we speak English. The walk to the English class and back was about 1 or 2 hours each way, and in Utica it can get quite cold. Now, this became a situational problem for her, and she found it becoming very boring and not as useful as at the beginning, where she felt she learned enough English where she can go adapt on her own. So eventually she did leave this place and continue on. May eventually got a job at the casino as her very first job ever. After that, she bought a car and then started college at MBCC. After 6 semesters at MBCC, she transferred to SUNYIT, and since then has been continuing her education in psychology. She did have a little trouble transferring to SUNYIT, and because she was in a youth class taking the basic level English, it was actually made it possible for her to transfer from MBCC to SUNYIT, as that class did account for credit for her, which is quite amazing. Overall, she's very pleased that she came to the United States of America. She really enjoys the good educational programs, and she really looks forward to getting her master's in psychology. Mana, the young girl you can see here on the right-hand side of the screen, is from Somalia. Now, she was in Somalia with her grandmother and her mother and her father when she was there. And her grandmother used to tell the stories of what it was like in Somalia, as she cannot remember the full magnitude of what's going on. But her grandmother described to her that there was a lot of rape, there was a lot of murder, and people were using weapons for defense, and if you didn't have weapons to defend yourself, people with weapons would appear, and then you'd be defenseless to whoever they wanted. Her grandmother felt it was best that her mother get married at a young age so this would not happen to her. So her grandmother forced her mother to get married very young, and then had Mana. Now, Mana was mostly raised by her grandmother, felt very close to her. They eventually left Somalia and went to Kenya at a refugee camp where they stayed for years. When Mana first arrived there, she had a lot of responsibilities of cooking and cleaning, and she was not really used to it. And all this cooking and cleaning was very new, and she said she burned herself quite a bit. She would cook over open, hot flames, and if you did the wrong move, trying to cook 3 or 4 meals at once, you'd burn herself, and it was very difficult for her. It sounded like she had to adjust at a very young age. Mana, when she first moved to America, she lived in Missouri. She first got here, she thought everybody was wearing strange clothes, so they all looked different from her. And she also had a little bit of trouble making friends due to her lack of English language knowledge. She really benefited in the English language when she said she started watching TVs, commercials, cartoons that would teach her how to react in certain situations. Her grandmother lived in Utica, and when her grandmother got in contact with her mother in Missouri, they all moved as a family to Utica. She joined in 8th grade the JFK schools. Currently, she's in high school and plans to continue on her nursing career and eventually help out her father, who was left behind in Somalia and did not make the trip to America. She currently lives with 20 other people that are in her family or in her house. And she is very busy and very hectic, and it's very loud in her house. The last group that came up on stage was Nepal refugees, and these people were quite interesting because they were at a Nepal refugee camp for 20 years before they came to America. A waiting list of 20 years it took them. They were around the ages of 25, 27, 30 years old. There's about 10 of them. And they described their living conditions as very small, overcrowded, and everybody's very sad. Waiting 20 years, how they spent the time and passed the time in these refugee camps was listening to music, playing music, and eventually they expanded the music and presented us with a great song to listen to. The song they have here for us actually was written for a girl, a relationship with a girl, and it's quite a calm, soothing song to uplift the people while they were in Burma at these sad refugee camps. The three main concepts in anthropology that I would discuss that we learn over the course of this semester is cultural diffusion, cultural shock, and cultural universal. Cultural diffusion is the spreading of a cultural trait from one society to another. With May, you can see this as she wants to join the workforce, and she did it at the casino. And how she enjoys meeting other refugees. She's really adapting, progressing, and now how she's going to go to SUNYIT, she's graduating, and she's really taking that educational development and allowing her to progress. One reason she really wants to develop in her educational standards and her progression is for her respect of her parents. Now, Mana from Somalia, she talked a little more in depth about her cultural diffusion and how she really enjoys American food such as pizza. She loves watching television, the cartoons, she finds hilarious. She currently also attends school and really plans to go into nursing at NBCC. And as you can see, she has changed and picked up a few traits here from the rooms of the new culture. Now, the group from Nepal, they really adapted the attire, the dress attire. A typical 25, 26-year-old American, jeans, short sleeve shirt, hair well done. They really adapted the attire while the other two did not adapt, and they each adapted in different things. Culture shock can be explained as a psychological disorientation experienced when trying to adjust to a major difference in lifestyle and living conditions. For May, this happened when she came to America. She experienced a lot of fear. She felt very cold with the climate change, and she also had trouble making friends. Ma, she had similar problems. Trouble meeting new people, making friends, the cold weather, as can happen when coming to America, which can be cold in some places. But this can also happen when you leave the United States. For anthropologist Laura Tamakashi, she went to Papua New Guinea, and when she went there, she experienced similar feelings of culture shock. She felt very alone, homesick. She had old cravings and yearnings of her old culture. And this can happen when you're placed in a new culture and you still have your old cultural ways set in the back of your mind. As you have to adapt to this new culture, sometimes you have to adjust properly. This is what she was going through at that current time as well. Cultural universals, as described by Murdoch, are practices, activities, and or beliefs that all societies have developed in order to help humans meet the basic needs, societal needs, or adapt to their environment. Murdoch says there's 67 of these. Some of these are age, cleanliness, calendars, dream interpretation, education, joking, languages, magics, trade, and tool making. Now, even though our cultures may be very different from people who are refugees, we are still very, very similar. These are the cultural universals that keep us all together as humans. The things that we all do, even though we don't know that even others are doing these things. Across the world, in places that we haven't heard of, they're still doing things that we do commonly and enjoy, such as music, and making fire, and education. This happens throughout the world, near and far. This is what brings all culture together as human beings, and how we are similar to each other. In conclusion, cultural awareness is a great way to obtain a better understanding of others' cultures. Being open-minded of other cultural beliefs and communication differences can help prevent miscommunication from lack of understanding different cultural traits outside of our